Hello everyone, once again welcome to my YouTube channel. It's Reviving Destinies. Here we revive destinies. So today I'm going to talk about a woman uh, having power in South Africa. So that's what I'm going to talk about. So remember, it's also a very sensitive topic. So remember, South Africa is a country which has a very bad historical disadvantages, which they have led to the impact of its bad historical disadvantages led to the scars of its bad impact which were happening. So one of the issues which we can touch is the patriarchy. That's one of it, which were one of the influence of historical the disadvantages which we had. Racism is one of them. There are many more. So there's misogyny and many more. So today I'm going to talk about a woman having power in our country, South Africa, the country which is historically disadvantaged. So that's what I'm going to emphasize. So now, when we speak about power, we have to categorize power in different sections. That's what I'm going to emphasize as much as I'm explaining that thing of women having power. The first section is the political power, the political influence. Then the second part is the legal influence, the legislative influence. Then another part is the professional influence. Then the last part, which I will touch also, is the economic influence. So that's what I'm going to touch. So now, if I start with the political influence of power, the political influence depends on what is being supported by the society. What does the majority of people support? So that's the first thing of the political influence. So if something is supported by many people, on the ground of political influence, that thing will come to pass politically wise, because politically depend on the democracy, and democracy is what the people like and what they view as right. Those are things which depend on the beliefs, the society, and the perception of the thing which are being preached or people believe. And another thing to understand is that the beliefs of people also, they are influenced by many channels like media and other things. And majority of people, they can support something, but which is not what is supported by many people does not necessarily mean is true, because media majority of the time can publish bad things, make you know things which are bad, publicize bad things. So we know. So the media can publicize the things which are unjust. They can take people who are bad and make them to look good, take people who are good and make them look bad. So it's a reality which we know. So the political wise, women have power, meaning that if a woman can accuse you of something, she will be the one to win the cases in that type of stance, because many people will support a woman over a man in majority of the things. And also when they are right, they will be supported, and also when they are wrong, there are cases where they are being supported. It depends on where we are in South Africa. So the political wise, yes, the women and the power, because of what we call, people understand the concept which we call affirmative actions, where we know that they are historically disadvantaged, and as much as they are historically disadvantaged, them they have to be given that extra support, extra favor, extra backup, because it's a type of group of people whom them they are historically disadvantaged, more especially black women. So that's how it is. So then another part of power is the legal influence. So the legal influence depends on what does the law says, what does the legislation says. And remember, the legislation is drafted by the parties, and the law is not always just, also we know. So it's not always just, it's not always enforces justice, but it also depends on what the political parties convey, wanted to portray. So the law depends on the political parties, and the law is what is in the constitution. So it was something which was drafted in 1996 after the democracy in 1994. Then they drafted the law where the majority of the where the leading parties of South Africa, their leaders and the representative came together with different people to discuss what is gonna be in the law. So those is another part of the power which we have to explain. So the law depends on what is lawful, not what is just, what is justice. So what is lawful? A woman can be wrong with what is lawful. A woman can lose a case if when they interpret the law, they found out that she's wrong. But there are cases where you will find out that the judges in their favor. But remember, we have appeals, we have reviews. So we have appeals where they can take the charge and lift it to a higher court or a court which is above the previous court. So remember, we have the hierarchy of courts: magistrate courts, then they go higher, district courts, then go higher to higher courts, then we have Supreme Court and Constitutional Court. So whenever they appeal, it depends on the appeal. So meaning that a woman can accuse a man of something, and as much as he accuses a man of something, if it's a false accusation, the law can still work on against the woman, because the law, they depend on what is legal and not legal. So that's how it is. So the law does not look at the interest of the people, does not look at what are many people supporting. So that's the emphasis of the law. Even if many people can support something, but the law cannot change because many people are against the law for specific cases. So that's how it is. So the legal wise, it depends on what is lawful. So in this case, we cannot say women have power because it depends on what is lawful. The one who is lawfully right is the one who have power. So that's how it is. Then another thing is, we're going to touch the professional power and the economic power. So remember, the economy of South Africa is is too unequal, meaning that those who are rich, we know that last time when I checked, 10% of the South African population was controlling 80% of the South African wealth. So and people who are still holding the wealth are still the minority elites, which they've been holding the law since they've been holding the wealth since historically, and even now they are still that minority white elites which are still holding the wealth of South Africa. So now the professional positions or vacancies, yes, they apply what we call affirmative actions, black economic empowerment. Women in their category, black women are the most historically disadvantaged nation. They got that highest power than everyone whenever in the job application and everything. But whenever we look at the stance of the things now, majority of top management position, the positions of directors for companies, all those great and effective professional positions in businesses space, in private sectors like private hospitals, like top universities, in the academia, everywhere. You can whenever you look at black women there, they are very few. So this is a sign of showing you that women, they don't have like a power when it comes to political power and professional power. In that section is a section which still need to be equipped. But there are also factors which they are also delaying that, except the fact that they are historically disadvantaged. Competence is one of the things. So they should be a platform where they train them to be competent, they trained them to be good leaders, as much as they will be allocated with the good those good management positions, like the positions in the companies, positions in the trust, positions in the big businesses. So those are the places where they are not there. where they are not there. In general, black people in those places, they are not there. But black women, of course, they are more affected comparing to men. So because of one of the factors can be they are historically disadvantaged. That is one of the factors. And the second factor is because of the issue of competence. As much as they are exposing them of such positions, of such staff, they should also expose them how to be good leaders, how to be good managers, not to be put in those type of positions while they are not competent, because in that way they will end up killing those trust, the big businesses, companies, and when they are killing those things, the economy will bankrupt. So those are the issues which we don't want to see. So they should be the exposure of the development of skills and trainings of competency. So as much as affirmative actions, they should train it in the way of we start by training people, giving people skills, giving people knowledge, giving people competence. Then whenever those people are given those stuff, then we can go to a point of putting them in the positions, applying the affirmative actions whenever people have the proper skills, proper management, proper competence. So in that way, the things will work. But if they are just being allocated in positions because they are historically disadvantaged, those businesses and all those things, they will not work, and the private sector will not be as strong as we seen it as it is. We talk like that because there are lots of management positions which are allocated to people who are historically disadvantaged. Then at the end of the day, those staff do not even work, those staff do not even operate. We end up seeing issues like incompetence. We end up seeing stuff like the bankrupting of businesses, corruption, looting, nepotism, and all those things. So as much as I was explaining those stuff in the video, so let me also emphasize that the professional positions and also professional power or management leadership and the economic power, they work together. So that is the reason why I just explained them in brief. So another factor is that they can be in the form of shareholders, or they can be in the form of directors and managers. So in both of these things, they are not there to be found. It's difficult to see businesses which have the major shareholders of women, but at the same and also it's difficult to see businesses which they are led by, which their top position, top management are led by women, especially black women. Even in the academia, it's difficult to see the university management, administration, or even lecturers having many black women in their leadership. So those is one of the reality which count. But the step is not only to just put them because they are women. They should be training skills, competence, and all those things. So that's how it is. But as much as we are explaining the level of competence, we should drag it to a point that they should be great schools, great content being presented, and also the proper lessons, the proper teachings, and the proper equipment of people. So those are the things which I just wanted to touch in this video. This is just a video to say we are helping in lifting our country, making our country better, and trying to bring economic development in our country, South Africa. As much as we are preaching economic growth, but also let it be economic development, where the development will reach everyone, not only people, not only few group of people who benefit from the wealth of our country. So that's how it is. That's what I can say in this video. Please don't forget to subscribe, and let me see you on the next video. Shalom.